Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to paint a violet, and I will take this opportunity to talk about light in painting and especially in watercolors. So today I'm going to give you 3 very easy and very efficient tips that I use to create light in a watercolor painting, and also a little bonus if you really want to show off. You'll see that it works so well that it's almost cheating, so stay until the end for the little bonus. The first tip, and this is the same for all watercolor paintings, is to start with a layer as thin as possible. And that's to keep as much light as possible. When I paint the first layer, I paint almost only with water, so the first layer of paint should hardly be visible on the paper. The second tip is to plan from the start where you want to lure the viewer's eye, and that's where you're going to put the most pronounced shadows. So this is a general rule that you can apply in all your compositions. It will always work. The eye is drawn to the contrast. So where the most light is going to illuminate your subject, it may seem like a contradiction, but that's where there will be the darkest shadows as well. However, you really want to use the shadows sparingly. You want to keep the general aspect bright. You can see it a little bit like a makeup. Shadows are just there to emphasize the brightest part of the subject. The third tip, which in fact goes together with the second one, is of course at the same time as you decide where to put the shadows of the subject, you decide where to put the reflections. So with watercolor, the only way to create a reflection is to leave the part completely blank. So when we paint the first layer with our very thin paint, we will leave the reflections completely blank. So that's my 3 main tips to create light in a watercolor painting, but I promised you a little bonus, and that one cannot be applied to all subjects, but if you can place that in a painting, it will have an incredibly good effect. Really, it will make your painting come to life. And so this last tip is transparency. If you have an appropriate subject, for example here, the petals are quite thin, and so we can maybe see things through if the lighting is right. For example here, I'm drawing the projected shadow of the flower stem that you can see through the petals of the violet. And in order to make it clear that it's the stem of the flower that we can see through the petals, I'm going to paint the stem in green as we normally see it, and by connecting the shadow with the stem, the eye will naturally follow the line of the stem from the base to the top in order to understand the volume of the flower. And this will add a lot of volume to the painting. We will transform a classic botanical painting into a composition where there are really interesting light effects, and the subject will immediately look alive. If you can add transparency to a subject, it would be a shame not to do it, because it has such an impact that it's almost cheating. For me, once I've decided the placement of the light, the shadows, the reflections, the transparencies, that's the moment when I can stop thinking and just relax and paint the finishing touches, the little details. Everything else is less important. And this is one of the main challenges of watercolor. You have to make important decisions at the very beginning. You start by defining the contrast, the light reflections and the shadows, and then everything else is just adding details, texture, but always with respect to the contrast you define at the very beginning. I really hope that these tips will be useful to you for your next painting. And I also wanted to thank all the people who liked my videos. It has really helped the channel a lot, so thank you so much. You can like this video too if you liked it, and Until next time, I wish you a lot of creativity and I will see you very soon. Bye!